Hi, so today's episode is all about what pain relief is available to you at home. So there are varying options and some things that you can prepare yourself and some things that the midwives can bring. First of all, pain is felt differently by everybody and birth is no different. You never know, all the prep in the world, you never know how you're going to feel at the time. So knowing your options is key because it's sometimes about knowing what you don't want as well as knowing what you do want. First of all, at home, TENS machine. You can either hire these or buy them yourself. And these work by helping to release your own natural endorphins and also by sort of helping to distract you a little bit. They go on the back of your back. They go on your back, and generally they're used in the beginning stages of labour. Quite often as things ramp up a bit, they're not quite as effective, but worth knowing about. The second thing is gas and air, or Entinox. I used this with my first birth. And basically, a bit like alcohol, everybody does respond to things differently. So sometimes it can make you feel a bit dizzy or a bit nauseous. I started swearing a lot. I think I did feel a little bit drunk and I got a little bit attached to it. But it is one of those wonderful things that can really just help take the edge off of the pain. It works really quickly. So you just breathe it in and then it starts to help straight away. A little side note with gas and air, like I said, I used it for my first birth and it was amazing, and I then think there was a point where it started to distract me a little bit and I lost my focus because I was just enjoying the break, I suppose. So I was actually given this tip by one of the ladies that came to my pregnancy relaxation group and actually fed back afterwards, and she said how well it had worked. Somebody had suggested to her about using the gas and air when you feel a contraction or a surge coming. You start to take it, and as you start to get used to them, and if you pay attention to your surges, they have a peak and then they do start to ebb away again. And what she suggested was actually having the gas and air on that build up, but as soon as you feel it start to ease, you then put it down and then you let it sort of, your body naturally come down. And that way, she fed back that she was really able to get the best out of the gas and air, but not actually interfere with her focus and her mindset, because that's what I found it didn't. So a little tip for you there. Another thing you can have when you're at home, which midwives bring, is pethidine. It's an injection that's given into intramuscularly, either in your arm or your thigh. Or your bottom, and it works in about 20 minutes and it lasts for about 2 to 4 hours. It is an opium derivative, so it's strong stuff, and that's why you're not supposed to be getting in the pool after you've had it, because they like to monitor you and baby. There can be respiratory problems. It can have side effects to the baby, basically. If that is the case, then they have a drug to inject and it reverses all the sort of symptoms. That being said, you're not allowed to have it too close if you're in really established labour. For those reasons, it can interfere with the first feed and the respiratory problems. So it's one of those things to know about, and if you're on the fence, have a chat with your midwife, let them know all of the ins and outs, go into a bit of research, but know that it is there if you do need it, if the gas and air isn't strong enough, or if it's maybe that option of having the pethidine or transferring, and that's in your knowledge and your notes and you've understood everything, then it's the perfect thing, as long as you've understood it and you've done your research. Epidurals aren't at home, so if you have the gas and air, if you have the pethidine and you're still at home and you're not feeling like it's touching the sides or it's not enough, and you feel like an epidural would be what you would need, then you transfer to hospital. And at that point, I always like to remind people it's not a failure. It's not a bad thing to transfer to hospital. If you choose to, because it's right for you, you've had all the information, you've done all of your prep, then that's amazing that that facility is there to go and visit and use and take support from. So epidurals aren't at home, but worth knowing about for when you go to hospital, but we'll talk about those another day. So really, when you're at home, TENS machine, gas and air, Entonox and pethidine are your sort of 3 pain reliefs. That being said, there is a lot of prep you can do. I mean, I whenever I talk to people about my home births, I always say I feel quite lucky because I managed to stay home, or I had both of mine at home. But really, I did put a lot of work into it. I visualised how I wanted it to be, I practiced, I set my space up, I boosted my own hormones, and I understood all of my options. So I felt really confident and trusting of my own body, which I think can have a real difference in our mindset of determination. We're designed to do this. Pain relief is amazing when we'd like it, but we need to still trust our bodies and use it to help us, not in a case of hindering because we can't do it and our bodies aren't working. We need to change that mindset. Our bodies are incredible and they're working beautifully. We just need some extra support, and that's our choice. So think about things like your lighting, your music, the mood that you want to be in, feel as comfortable and cozy, because all of these things doesn't really sound like pain relief, but actually it's the steps before the pain relief. If you're feeling a little bit like it's ramping up and you're a little bit panicky or whatever, put your earphones in, smell your smells, put your eye mask on, retreat a little bit before you then maybe have the gas and air or the pethidine. It's just knowing all your options and what helps in labour, what helps you in labour. I'm going to check my notes in case there's anything I've forgotten. I don't think so. No, movement and birth ball I've actually got written down, and birth pools, oh, big forget. Water births. If you are at home, a water birth can be great for pain relief and just a feeling of support. My second was born in the water, and the weight relief was incredible, and that alone gave me more energy to actually focus on the contractions, which then I think in turn helped me stay at home, because it's a process and you've got to conserve that energy. So being in the water not only supports your perineum and the muscles and feeling of relaxedness, but your energy saving was brilliant. So I think that does cover everything. Have a chat with your midwives, have a chat with me if you need. Think about your antenatal classes or hypnobirthing and know your options, because knowledge is power, I tell you people. Have a lovely day, and yeah, get in touch if you need anything. Take care. Episode 3 coming soon. Bye.